Hey guys, welcome back again.
Hello, good to see all of you again. I'm Phang and my partner.
Leo.
Wait, Leo. Every episode we have to introduce ourselves like that, right?
I think
Or we can put it down the word down there, Leo and Phang, so that we don't have to introduce ourselves.
we'll do that in our next
We do that.
episode.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations. Your company celebrated the second anniversary.
Oh yes, it was a very, I would say it's a beautiful one. I would
Tell
say.
our audience about it.
Well, I think that day more than 2,000 people all around the world actually celebrated offline and online together. So our offline, I would say online, I think more than 300-400 people joined our Zoom, but and we have celebrating in like more than 20 offline occasion.
Okay.
More than that, I would say. 20 to 30, I would say. So it was a very good one, I would say. It really touched my heart because I'm not sure how to tell you. It's something magical, a wonderful moment that people render us so much support, especially in such trying economic times, so many challenges. So I really thank them for their continuous trust in us. And I think they are very surprised that you went there. Really, very surprised, I would say.
Surprise
Yes.
I went.
No,
Okay.
because it's like we didn't tell them that you're going to be there. And then when they see that, they're like, Mr. Pa, Mr. Pa. And trust me, you have earned a lot of fans in Africa.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. When the moment that you come to Africa,
Uh-huh. All
trust
right.
me,
Okay.
there'll be a celebration.
So I had no choice but to go to Africa.
I implied that. Sorry, it very explicitly.
How do you feel after completing 2 years? You know, your company is new, completing the 2 years.
I'll say very refreshed, I would say. Because we had some challenge before. Then I would say 2 years down the road, when I tell people this is a 2 years old company with 10 products and we are legalized in so many countries with the right people, people are surprised. People are surprised at what we have done because it's one thing. The surprising part is we actually do the fundamental things. That's the surprising part because most of the people, I would say a lot of companies I know, they just get an agent to do. When you put your company's name into an agent person, it means you're not in control. And they can do anything they like. But we are different. We only do the really fundamental, let's just call it honest work. Honest job, well done.
Earning an honest living.
Yes. So we are just the guy who would just want to do the right thing, I would say. Yeah.
Great.
The good guys.
Good guy. All right, let's get started. And the last episode, we spoke about generating leads.
Yes.
It's the lifeline of anybody who's doing sales or in network marketing also. They need to have a list of people whom to contact.
Yes. Without a list of contact, I mean, how? Where?
Right. And it has to be ongoing. It has to be an ongoing process where they need to keep on updating the list every now and then because some people may not want to see them. Some people may just drop off like that. And some people say that I'll think about it. Right. So that's why it has to be continuously generated, that the leads.
Yes. So I believe that today we're going to touch about how to get to those leads, right?
Yes, today I am going to share, right, in terms of building the rapport, because especially if you do not know the person, like you are meeting the person for the first time, a lot of salespeople, what I've seen previously and based on my experience also, they will start selling, even though they are seeing the person for the first time. I will always tell them, don't start selling because they have no reason to buy from you because they don't know you.
Especially in settings where it's not like Expo. Expo, you can do the selling immediately, but yes.
Even Expo also, right? Most of them, I would say that they are there to get information.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they get information and then they will do a search and then they will see, they will check it out, check every company out before they even make the final decision.
Yes, that's true. That applies to a lot of companies.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
So
companies.
that is why today our topic is on building rapport. How do we build rapport? And especially for those people that you never met before, right? Yeah, that's how we will need to build the rapport.
I think this is a topic especially for the introverts. Yeah.
Introvert, extrovert, they still need to be rapport.
That's true. Yeah, but I think that people have becoming more and more introvert, and they are afraid to talk to people. And when they speak, oh my goodness, the way they speak, you just feel like slapping them.
Well,
Yeah.
you are talking about the new generation now, or
But yeah, new generation especially,
New
they
generation.
really are afraid of people.
yeah, because they grew up with technology.
Yes, they grew up with the phone, so they talk through their phone.
Yeah,
And it's a very alarming state, and which is why I think this podcast is very important to them, especially because at the end of the day, humans are social animals.
definitely we
Yeah.
are. We are. We need to connect with other people.
Yes.
No, we can't be alone. Okay, let's get started. Now, the first thing when we talk about building rapport is, of course, we start off with the chit chat.
Yes.
Okay, let's discuss about chit chat.
Well, talk cock sing song. Sorry.
Not exactly. It's a very important part of the conversation. Because that is where I will get to know you. That is where I get to know what you are doing well or what you like, what you don't like. Actually, it's from the chit chat.
Yes, that's true.
Usually for Malaysians, the way we started chit chat was like this. Hi, how are you?
not
Have you
bad.
taken your lunch? Food is always the way to chit chat.
Yes, yes, yes. But I really wonder how they do that in Europe country. I've never. No, I think they ask the same thing. How are you as well?
How are you?
How's the weather?
How's the weather?
Yeah.
Yes, these are very general topics to launch into the proper one. Then what I also do is that when I am at the office, for example, if I meet them in the office or I meet them somewhere that is more casual, wherever, I will always observe the surrounding. For example, if I go there and the traffic was terrible, then I would say that, wow, the traffic coming here can be very challenging. that to me is a conversation opener.
Yes, something light, something not so serious, I would say.
Yeah. And the other thing also in terms of chit chat, when I walk into the office and I look at the office, what do they have? If they have a family photo there, well then I will say, oh, is this your family? Oh, how old are your kids? And that's where we will get the conversation started.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, that's very. Yeah, I think you caught me. I think just now when we just started, I talked about some current issues about what is always happening. We mentioned about the Sydney Sweeney issue, the controversial in America. So I like to talk about current affairs. Yeah.
That is something we need to be mindful of because not everyone is in tune with the current affair.
That's true.
Yeah, and not everyone. Like for example, you asked me about Sydney Sweeney, and I have to be very honest. I have not heard about it about the issue. What is the issue about?
That's true.
So I may not register with that.
Yes.
If you start up with that,
and people can't just continue the conversation and it just breaks.
Yeah. So I would suggest for anyone who would like to do chit chat to start off with the general issues that everybody can relate to.
Yes.
Malaysia definitely will be about food. KL will be about traffic.
Always.
Yeah. Then maybe if let's say the festive season is coming, then we can talk about a bit about holidays. What have you planned for the holiday. So those are the things I believe we can jumpstart the conversation.
Yes, that's true.
Now, the idea about chit chat is actually not to just talk about it, but the idea about chit chat is actually getting to know the other person and for the other person to get to know you.
Yeah, making them feel comfortable as well.
Correct. Right, making them feel comfortable with you and you are comfortable with them. And I also know some people are not into chit chat.
Yeah, you're looking at one of. Actually, I like to talk, yes, but not so much. Yeah, I'm a person that, among my colleagues and among my partners as well, they tend to see me as a person of no nonsense. Yeah, but then again, you can't just approach people without, saying let's call it small talks. Yeah, and one of the things that I like to do is to identify the common interests. That's not just with strangers, of course, but these are people that I've met once or twice or 3 times. So I like to say that if I know that person likes to talk about coffee, and then
we talk about coffee, right?
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that is, it doesn't matter whatever issues or whatever topic that you bring up. It's just that we want to talk something in general,
Yes.
so that we will not be the conversation will not be like that very
Right.
formal, only focus on the professional part of that.
Yes. Yeah. And also I think one of small talk is so important because it's the key to make I'll call it the kingmaker. Okay, that's the difference. No matter how good your package is, there's sometimes why some guys can score the girl even though they are not handsome and whatever, because it's the small talks.
Not only that, if you can impress the other side, basically you can, even within the small talk, and they like you already, because
Yes.
seems like there is the same frequency kind of thing, and both the interests are very much in alignment, and who knows, it's a start of something different.
Yes. I think this is coming to that. A lot of people don't have enough confidence as well. I think all these things are not rocket science. I believe there are certain guidelines and also steps that you should undertake. Just like you actually mentioned just now, that you talk about the weather, the food, and whatnot. So I believe there are certain tips and tricks and guidelines that we can actually apply for us to be excelling in the small talks, I would say.
There are a few. And number one, to me, the most important number one is be natural. We don't know what topic will come out. You know what topic will come out. There was one time when I went into this person's office, and this person's office opened up to KLCC.
You mean the view?
Yeah, the view. The moment I walked into the office and the glass panel and overlooking KLCC.
Oh, wow.
When I went in, I was like, wow, you have such a beautiful view, and every day you come to office with this kind of view.
Wow.
I was like, that was my first exclamation. That was my first small talk with him. That was my starting small talk, and that was where we carry. Yeah. Every day I come in. This is the view that actually be very, very nice kind of view, and yeah. So that was how I started the small talk.
But then again, I come across a lot of people, right? That we call them the conversation killer.
Conversation stealer, people who
will start. Yeah, they will say the same thing, but in a weird manner where, wow, so rich are you? Wow, something like that people cannot. So I think we need to. I'm not sure how to actually tell these people. I come across a lot, especially introverts. They will see the same thing. So the input is beautiful view, but they'll relate to something that you cannot think of, and then it kills the conversation.
Put it this way. One more thing. Another guideline is never talk about the money in the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Anything related to money.
Yes.
Yeah. If anything related to money, please don't talk in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the time will come.
Yes. I think one of the things that, especially in small talks, right, like calling it art, right, I think they have to really look up for more reference about, especially every culture is different.
Yeah.
Like Malaysian, we talk about food, all these things.
Correct.
A lot of times we don't talk about money. A lot of times.
Yeah.
But when it comes to different culture, you really have to talk about the money. I'll give some scenario. There are certain groups of people. When you wear a new shoe, oh well, see, this shoe, very expensive shoe, so much money. That's their own small talk.
That is their small talk. Yeah. But yeah, I do understand that. That. But of course, I always tell people in Malaysia, especially, right,
yes,
we
that's true.
refrain from going into that. Or wow, your house so big, you must be very rich.
Oh my God, that's exactly the conversation killer I've heard from some people, and I was like, how do I continue?
Yeah, how do you continue?
So the natural thing is, like you said, very important.
So that is why be natural about it. Don't talk about money, all right? And also, if they decide not to do small talk, then don't continue. Then don't continue. Because, like, for example, some people, you try to do small talk with them and they are being very formal about it. Yeah, okay, yes, what do you have for me? The moment they say this, they have to move on to why you are there.
Yes. And I think a lot of guys get that, especially from girls. Because they try to talk to the girls, they try to woo the girls, and the girls is like...
and the girls will say that, okay, you want to talk to me about what?
Yeah.
So that is what we call as, so be prepared to do the transition. So this is what we call in chit-chat, is a transition towards the more formal part.
So I believe that you have some things down your sleeve that how do we transition, especially when we hit the wall like that, when people don't want to do the small talk. So how are we going to make them feel more comfortable?
Usually I would start off, if let's say we're transitioning into the more formal part of it, I will usually state my objective, why I'm there.
Creative way, I believe. Because if I start saying that I want to sell this thing, then
Of course, we are not here to sell it, but I will start off by saying that I'm actually here to understand your needs about.
Okay, that sounds better.
Yeah. So basically, I'm there not to sell, because as I mentioned very much earlier, is that please don't sell when you don't know you, they don't know you, you don't know them. Don't start to sell. Build that rapport first.
And I believe that we need to impress them within the first 10 seconds talking to them because they need to know who we are, right?
Correct. They need to know who we are. Basically, when you pass them your name card, they more or less they will have known who you are. All right. Don't start to sell. By then they will say that, okay, what can I do for you, right? Then the salesperson will start to sell. I'm from this company and my products are like this, right? And this is why I'm here to introduce you my product. Because the biggest question is this: do you know what I want?
True. Knowing what, if I know what you want, then I don't have to sell. I just have to share with you what you want.
Exactly, right? So do I need to know every single thing or every single product your company you are selling?
Oh no, definitely
No,
not.
you don't need to, right? So that is why we need to understand the needs.
Starting from small talks and then we transition into questions, Q&A.
Correct. And this is what we are going to cover in the next segment. What kind of questions that you can ask and why questions are so important at the beginning of the conversation. It's not towards the end. A lot of people, salespeople made the mistake, or even I think networker will also make the same mistake of trying to sell their company, their products to their prospects.
Yes, at the end of the day, people don't care. They only care about their own needs.
Exactly. What can you do for me? So that's the question that they will always ask themselves.
I'm so excited to hear your tips and tricks on how we're going to go there.
Right, so we will be back and we will talk about how you can actually get to know your prospects' needs.
See you guys later. Hey guys, welcome back. And we're talking about the tips and tricks on how.
In terms of building rapport, there are two steps. Number one is, of course, is chit-chat, or you call it small talk. It is basically the same thing.
Yes.
The second part is basically before you even start selling, it's to understand your customers' needs or prospects' needs.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think basically it's about asking questions to identify their needs, their deep inside desire, I would say.
Let me share with you what actually will happen when a salesperson were to go and meet their prospect. They will start talking about the company, about their products, about the kind of services that they will provide them. But the question is that the prospect will always ask, right, you know what I want?
Yeah. Especially people like me, I am extremely impatient. So I just want to know whether or not that thing is what I want. And if not,
correct,
I'll end the conversation.
So normally how I will start the conversation when I transition from small talk to chit-chat, I will normally say this, right? This is a standard phrase I ask everybody. Before I begin to present what I have to present, I would like to ask you a few questions because I want to understand your needs. So usually they will give me permission. With that, once I say that, usually they give me permission to ask questions. So I need the permission to ask questions. If not, then they will say that, why you ask me so many questions? Which I want to avoid that.
It would sound like an interrogation, I would say.
Yeah. So that's why I need to ask questions to get permission to ask questions.
I see.
Like for example, in your networking also, right? I believe that your leaders or your networkers will go and meet the prospect, and then they will ask the prospect, is that what products you are consuming now, right? Or what kind of health issue you have, right? Yes, it's basically getting to know the prospect.
Sometimes I think they even ask very specific questions like, do you have high blood pressure or
Yeah, correct.
diabetes?
Correct,
Something that is more specific, I would say.
Right, right. Yeah. So that is where questions come in. Because how can you recommend any products or services without knowing what they want?
Yes.
It doesn't make sense, right?
I think just now I mentioned something, last episode I would say, that as I mentioned, have you brushed your, do you brush teeth? That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I won't ask questions like, do you use toothpaste?
Or you can ask questions like, how often you brush your teeth per day?
Yeah.
Some maybe 2 times, some maybe in between meals. So that it's good to know.
And it's very natural. And then immediately, if the answer, of course, nobody will say no, they don't brush
Yeah.
their teeth. So like, if the answer is yes, then you can start your sales pitch, I would say.
Then the other question, for example, if you try to promote your toothpaste, then you will ask the question, what brand are you using now? Right? That it's good to know also what brand are they using. Are they using any other M&M brands, or are they using the brands that you can get from the retail outlet? So the bottom line is this, right? Get to know the prospect.
Get to know their needs.
Yes. So that is why when you want to get to know the needs, you need to ask questions. And there are two types of questions that you can actually ask. One is called open-ended question. Another one is called the closed-ended question.
So I think just now when I said the word, do you brush your teeth? Those are considered closed-ended questions.
Correct. So basically, I can answer a yes or no. Then I do not proceed.
Yes.
What about if I reframe that question? I will say that how many times do you brush your teeth per day? Because we know they brush their teeth. But how many times? Some will be 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or even I'm not sure how many times. Right?
And I believe that's a better question even because nobody will say that they won't brush their teeth. So by answering 1, 2, 3 times, you can even know how much is their usage.
Exactly.
And then can plan it.
The other thing that you all can ask, for example, right? You can also ask how many of your family members.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, because if let's say they said, oh, I have four of us, for me and my wife, and then after that will be the two teenage children. Then you know everybody is using toothpaste.
Then you can even know that okay, if you have a promo or a family pack, you can sell that.
Right, exactly. So let's deep dive into these two types of questions and how they can actually anybody can actually use this to frame questions, right? Okay, when we talk about open-ended questions, we allow the person to talk more, the prospect to talk more. You have to explain details, yeah? That's where, when you ask questions, please use 5W, 1H.
Oh, what, who, why, when, where, and how.
How, yes. What, who, why, where, when, and how. Yes. So ask this question so that you allow the prospect to have more leeways in terms of how they want to answer.
And the more they talk, the more we understand them.
Exactly. And the more they talk, the more you understand the needs. The idea is get them to talk more.
And I think also to show that we are truly interested in that person as well, and they
Correct.
feel connected.
Yes.
The rapport is there.
Correct, right? Because I have this feeling that if let's say I'm the prospect, I have this feeling that not bad. He's really trying to understand me.
And that's why we tend to buy more from people who makes us feel comfortable, over the course.
Yes, right. So that's why. But looking at your networkers, right? What kind of questions that they can actually ask? Open-ended questions.
Oh, I think let's talk about product. That we have 10 products here in Yes Global, okay?
Yeah.
So we mentioned about the toothpaste, right? So one of our products, right, treats constipation.
Okay.
Literally treats constipation. So it's as simple because a lot of women, especially going through menstrual cycle, they very often, okay, more than half of them experience constipation because of the hormonal changes. So the question is actually, so during your period time, do you experience some constipation issue? If yes, then yeah. And as sometimes right after we know that it's a positive sign, we can proceed to give sample. So
Yeah.
it was a very aggressive one, or a less aggressive one. Sometimes you get a no.
Mhm.
But then again, you can ask questions like, is your wife, your friends having experienced it? Because this is too often.
Correct.
often.
Because everybody has certain health issue, whether
Yes.
they are serious or less serious.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody will have that.
Or sometimes we ask questions like, for example, we have a product that focuses on insomnia, mind, eye. So, the modern problems of humans today. Do you have sleep problems? Do you fall asleep easily? So,
But those are close-ended questions, Well,
Yes.
let's try some open-ended questions.
close. How many hours you sleep a day usually?
Right.
Yeah.
How many hours? So I sleep about 4 hours per day.
That's too less. Are you serious?
Huh? No, I mean.
Okay. Yeah, that's too less then.
Yeah, because for example, if let's say someone were to say I only sleep 4 hours per day because
you need my sunset right away.
Ah.
Take this one a day, okay, at night, okay. Sleep like a baby
would
for
you
8
want
hours.
to know? Would you want to know in this situation? Would you want to know why they are not sleeping 8 hours a day?
Well, that depends on the rapport. If I'm working with, most of the time, I'm working with. Although let's put it this way, I have extremely high confidence. I can make people feel comfortable very quickly. So, if right after my close-ended question, I actually go straight to closing.
Okay. Now the thing is this: you can do that, but if let's say your networkers they were to skip certain parts,
I don't think they can. They can
Right.
get to what they really want.
correct, right? You can do that because you understand your product,
Right.
how good your product is.
That's
But do you
true.
think everybody can do that?
No,
Ah.
this is not for everyone. I would say.
Correct. So that is why we need to help them to understand that there are certain questions that we need to ask.
Yes. So starting by asking questions to their problems, identify that whether they have this need.
Right.
Then after that, knowing if they tried any avenues to resolve it.
Yeah, what are the things they have done to resolve this issue, right? Yeah, that is where open-ended questions come in for you to understand their situation.
Then eventually, when we understand the whole situation, we become the problem solver. Oh, you have tried this and this.
Right.
Maybe you have not tried mine. Give it a try.
Correct. Then the next part of the question is what you have been using a lot is close-ended question, right? Where you get a yes or no or maybe kind of thing. Yeah, so that is where it's a combination. Actually, understanding the prospect's needs is actually a combination of open-ended and also close-ended questions.
I like to use close-ended because I can control the outcome.
You can control the outcome, but you have to understand also you can also lose control of the outcome.
Oh, okay.
If the answers don't go your way,
that can happen as well.
because if you expect a no answer, but then suddenly they say yes.
Can I ask, do your friends have this issue?
Yeah, it's also possible. No, my friends don't have this issue.
Oh shit.
See, that is the danger of when people ask close-ended questions, because they may put themselves into a trap. So why do you want to put yourself into a trap? Why not ask open-ended questions and let it be open? There's no trap there. You can answer the way you want to answer, right? And also, right, you allow the person to speak freely. Because when you talk about close-ended, it's like, oh, yes, no. So how will you allow me to speak freely?
So we need to paraphrase our questions into where they can, just like for example, how many times you brush a day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
How many family members you
Instead
have?
of saying that, do you brush your teeth? Of course, I brush my teeth, right? But how many times? So you see, usually I will brush 2 times or 3 times. After meal, I will also brush 1 time. And then you know that the consumption, or then my wife is also using. So then you know that consumption is times 2. My children are also using. How many children you have?
What
2.
brands you use? Why do you like the brand?
Correct. Why do you like the brand? How long have you been using the brand? No, they could have been using the brand since they are young.
I see. And that will give us a lot of confidence on how we can derive an action plan on
Right.
marketing
In
that.
terms of the next step, in terms of framing your pitch, where you want to convince this prospect about what you have.
I see. I think we really have to touch about the pitching part, because I think most of the people only give you just 30 seconds to 1 minute to get your information. And once you lose that window period, that's it.
To me, pitching is not important.
Okay.
Understanding needs is important.
Mm.
Because if you don't understand needs, how are you going to pitch?
That's true.
Right? You can't pitch and say that like what I mentioned earlier. You can't say that I'm from this company and my company has this product and that's why I'm here to introduce my product to you. So is that convincing? Is your pitching convincing?
No.
Without understanding my needs? Let me share with you. Recently I did a training and they were selling these heavy machineries.
Okay.
Heavy machineries. And their price is 20% more expensive than the Chinese brand. I mean, in any industry, that goes without saying. Then I asked them, how do you sell them? Open-ended question, how do you sell them? That is why I always face this challenge, because when customers were to bring up the issue about price, I really don't know how to handle. I said, what about your unique selling point? What are so unique about you that you can charge 20% higher than as compared to your competitor? Because pricing is something that it cannot stand in a vacuum. It has to be related to something else, and that something else is called value.
So once we identify the USP, then we are able to.
What we are doing in pitching later on is basically to match whatever that they need to whatever that you have. Matching. So it's not like you are here, you talk about everything. No.
So it's not about the pitch, but it's about, I know that what you need, okay?
Then I can pitch. Like for example, you talk about, how many times times you brush your teeth and all that. No, my toothbrush run out very fast. For example, one of the issue, my toothbrush run out very fast because 4 of us are using. Then why don't you try us, right? Our toothbrush can last
Longer.
For example. Yeah, that's your USP. So that is where you do the matching. And you cannot do the matching without understanding your prospect's needs.
So back to the 101, try to ask more open-ended questions,
Right.
let them talk more,
Yeah.
through understanding them, then we're like, okay, your need is better toothbrush, okay, or maybe you don't like the taste of your toothpaste, so you want a change of it, or your toothpaste runs out too fast and is too expensive. You should consider another brand.
Yes, because from the needs, we can identify the issues. Then only we do a matching. Yeah, so that is the easiest way to do pitching. Because if you can do that, you can do a matching, then closing is not an issue.
Yes. So I think we really learned about trying to ask open and especially open-ended question.
Open-ended question. A lot of salespeople that I encounter, they ask a lot of close-ended questions, and this is very common. Very common. So for me, those days also, I asked a lot of close-ended questions, but after that, I decided to change my approach and ask more open-ended questions so that they can actually talk more. And I can listen more. And the moment they talk more, which means that they have a lot of information to share.
Something that I learned. Something that I can improvise and improve.
Which I believe your networkers can learn also.
Yes. Instead of asking like, do you brush your teeth? You ask questions like, how many times a day?
So that is why I will always recommend, right? Doesn't matter whichever industry you are in, to list down the questions that you want to ask your prospect. Your potential customer, your prospect. List down first. List down first and put it into the head.
And be as natural as possible.
Yes, of course, be as natural as possible.
Right. Can't just like conversation killers,
Conversation killer is like taking out the list and saying, I need to ask these questions.
Seriously, a lot of people do that, especially now.
Well, so yeah, so that's about this step, building rapport. 2 steps. Number 1 is in terms of chit-chatting or small talk and understanding the prospect's needs.
Yes. I think we really covered how to really approach this prospect in a nice manner, I would say.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So what's up next?
That will be in the next episode.
See you guys again next week.